because it's time for the handoff. Everybody, welcome in Damien Barling. He's back in the building after his vacation. Looking outstanding, by the way.
I'm just happy James is alive based on the few times I tuned in from international waters. I wasn't sure if James was going to make it.
We worked on it. He's feeling a lot better. Looks a lot better. Big shout out to Jesse for filling in. That was big time. How's it going, man? How you feeling?
Man.
Refreshed?
Yeah, sure. Definitely. No, it was good. No, it's fine. It was
Could use another week?
No, it wasn't that. It was just a tough week to be away. That's all it was. It was a tough week to be away. Obviously, there was a lot going on here. A lot going on with the Kings, and but sometimes you step away for the people that are important to you, and that's what I did, and I had a great week.
Love that for you.
Sure.
What'd you do?
I went to where James is at right now.
Just right there?
Right there. Same exact spot James is at. I think James and I just switched rooms along the way. And
why didn't you set up like this then? I'm questioning your work ethic.
Again, the vacation wasn't for me. The vacation was for others.
Fair enough. Okay.
It was about them.
Very good.
Well, and I took 2. This is my second one. Like the first one, I dropped in a couple of times, but that was because it was the draft and it was to start a free agency. But this is more like we're back to normal, sort of. Yeah, I'm just not at home or at the studio.
Again, I'm just happy you're alive.
Oh yeah, I was sick last
week, and it was like, oh, okay.
Oh no,
yeah, we were working through it.
Like, there's literally nothing I can do about it right now. But yeah, no, it's just if James is gonna die, just die during the show. That'd be
ratings bonanza.
I mean, that clip will go hyper viral.
I'm still on penicillin, just so you know. I'm still on penicillin for another 5 days.
Love that. That's great. That's great for everyone else at the resort. I'm sure is thrilled.
Yeah.
So DeMar DeRozan is on the Kings now.
How about
FYI.
that? Yeah, who knew?
Yeah.
Who knew?
Thoughts? No. So Monty McNair today, I saw some people tweeting about it. I guess he kind of said like, "This is it. This is the roster. This is the core group of players we're going into camp with," and it feels to me like they got better. So I don't want to complain. I don't want to be the like, oh, now I was all in on the DeRozan thing, but now I'm out on the Kings.
Yeah.
But I think they got better, but their roster still feels like woefully incomplete.
Yeah. So my opinion, and I didn't hear exactly what Monty McNair said, but my opinion on that is like, yeah, the core of the roster is set. The core is DeMar DeRozan and Domantas Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox and Keegan Murray and Malik Monk. That's the core of the roster.
Sure.
And but that doesn't mean he's done doing other things. It doesn't mean he's done making moves. I think there's a lot that we'll talk about. I don't think the Brandon Ingram, I don't think there's anything to discuss in regards to Brandon Ingram at all in the Sacramento Kings. Kyle Kuzma will be interesting. I think there's a lot of flaws in the acquisition of Kyle Kuzma. I think it would probably result. I think no discussion can be had about acquiring Kyle Kuzma without him waiving his trade kicker. I also think there's concerns about the third year of his contract, given the fact that in the third year of his contract, I'm sure they expect De'Aaron Fox to be making a ton of money, Domantas Sabonis to be making a ton of money, Keegan Murray to be making a ton of money. So there's probably a lot of flaws in that as well. And I think you're probably looking at guys like Davis Bertans. I think you're starting to look at a lower, I don't mean a lower tier of players. Like you're just looking to fill out your roster a certain way. So I don't have any issue at all with Monty saying, no, this is our roster. This is our core group. I don't have any problem with that at all. Cause I thought that was the case when they landed DeMar DeRozan.
I'll tell you what, somebody told me, Zach Beirudi, actually, Rivercats radio broadcaster, said this to me when I was a young baseball broadcaster, and it meant a lot to me. And I've carried it throughout my career. He said, nobody's hanging on your every word. And I went, wow, that's really helpful, Zach. Thank you. And I've taken that with me. And then I met the Chatty House. The Chatty House, if I use one word that I'm just like, hey, I couldn't think of something, so I just said, they're on me.
Yeah.
I said woefully short. That's probably strong, and I apologize. Woefully short is the Blazers.
Oh.
That's not a competitive playoff team.
It's not.
The Kings roster is just a little thin in the front court. There you go.
Yeah. And,
Sorry.
And I
Thanks, Tay.
I think that's going to be, I think that'll be rectified, but the name that the Sacramento Kings acquired this offseason is DeMar DeRozan. I don't think there's another player they're going to acquire that's even remotely close to that caliber of player that he is.
Well, but even if they do acquire somebody else, even if they take a big swing like Kyle Kuzma, that's not DeMar DeRozan. So I get what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you could still make a substantial move here. I think that there's a lot of posturing, especially with Brandon Ingram, and I think we'll revisit this at the deadline. And they think that they can probably still get value, and they want to see where their season's at, and I get it. But I still think like Kuzma, they just don't want to pay 2 first-round picks, and I wouldn't either.
Yeah, I think the Kings will be far more likely to revisit the Kyle Kuzma situation than the Brandon Ingram situation.
Yeah.
I think unless they can land Brandon Ingram, as you're talking about, James, at or near the trade deadline for what they consider next to nothing, then I think that I think they absolutely would do it. I don't think Brandon Ingram is a priority for them, or I don't even know if like they created a
moved.
I don't know. I don't know. But I think if you created a list of players that they want, I don't think Brandon Ingram's in the top 2.
It's the money.
I would agree.
It's the money. Yeah.
Probably. Yeah, probably. Yeah. I think there are probably I think there are several things that play with Brandon Ingram, and certainly his future earnings are a factor as well.
Well, and really quickly on that, just before we go, like the difference between Brandon Ingram for Herter and Barnes, where you're swapping out $35 million for $35 million, and the other way, it is not good. So sorry, Kyle.
Right.
Yeah. What have you guys got coming up on D'Lo and Casey?
We'll talk a little bit about not a little bit. We'll talk a lot about Summer League. We'll truthfully, I can tell you, like, we're gonna vibe, man. We haven't been together, like we weren't together at all last week. We haven't been together for almost, I think, like 12 days.
So, oh my God.
Because we had field day.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And honestly, man, we're gonna have fun. We're just gonna get reacquainted with each other.
Can't wait. And I can't wait to discuss the cost of Kenny's t-shirt, because I just Googled it.
That's a lot.
It's crazy.
He moves in a different tax bracket than you and I.
He sure does. All right. James, salute. Go enjoy your vacation. Damien Barling, Kenny Caraway coming up next. The Insider's back with you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Until then, drink water and be nice to people.